I'm going to take a few minutes to discuss the death card. Lucky or unlucky number 13. Probably the most recognized or used card in the entire deck. And by used, I mean we see it in movies, we see it in television, we read it in stories, we hear about it in our mythology. We have, here we go, the traditional Rider-Waite death card. And in the myth and the lore, the psychic pulls the card out and lays it on the table. And oh, you're going to die. No. The death card is not about your demise. It's not about anybody's death. It is about endings, for sure. We're clear cut, the end, no going back endings. That is what the death card is about. It is unpleasant. It does not spark joy. And it is still not a card that we get excited to see, but it is not as horrible as it feels when we get it. And it is not as horrible as it seems. Okay? Within every death card, there's signs of rebirth. I like to look here and think of the sunrise, perhaps, on a new day. Because whatever came to an end, at some point there's a new beginning. It's just, this card speaks to the end of things that we hold dear, places that we've spent a lot of effort and time, the ends of important relationships, crucial housing situations, finances, careers, places that we've put time and effort gathering an opportunity that suddenly isn't there. It's a difficult card to cope with. And that's why the images are so striking and bring on so much fear and anxiety. This isn't a pleasant image, right? We don't want to give up things. And it becomes more unpleasant if the person is someone who doesn't get thrown a lot of curveballs in life and therefore doesn't know how to react or can't change gear when this ending occurs. If someone doesn't let go, they're very attached to things, it's much harder to deal with. If a person has a very specific path in mind and they don't like to deviate from it, much more difficult. The key with the death card is to release into it, let go of what needs to be let go of, so that you can move on and get past it. And with every death, there's still grieving. So whether that's the job that you've held, right? The house that's being repossessed, ouch. The marriage that's coming to an end, the relationship that's coming to the end, the friendship that's coming to the end, whatever it is that's really important, that's ending. It's uncomfortable. I like this one because you can see, obviously, the image of death as death has occurred, but there's hints of something else behind. Afterlife, perhaps, right? There's something more that we're reaching out for. There's hope and opportunity that's just barely visible, which is how we feel when things come to a close and we don't have control over it. Now, this one is one of the most bizarre death cards that I have. We have Dead Horse Lady here. And Dead Horse Lady is very pregnant. And she's about to give birth at any minute. And little child Dead Horse is going to catch the new life that comes into the world, right? So it's a really bizarre card. But it reminds that there is life, new life, within death. Death is carrying new life. So for being kind of odd, it gets right to the point. And another really fun one is this guy right here. It speaks to the few promises that we all get as living beings, right? We're all born. We all exist in life. We will all die. And along the way, things will change. And that's it. That's the only guarantees. And that's what the death card speaks to, are the changes, the permanent changes that we will encounter. Very few cards, would I say, are, that's just the way it's going to be. Don't fight it. I'm sure that there's some circumstances where I could go, okay, yeah, it's worth putting in the effort, give it a shot. But for the most part, what the death card means, over and out. Release, let go, so you can move on. That thing is dead to you. Let's go look for the new opportunities. What I find fun about this one is that everything expires. Because it does. Nothing stays the same. Sometimes it changes for the better. But there's endings and new beginnings within everything at all times. So yeah. We have our death cards. They are not a literal death. Not usually. But they are a death of something that we aren't ready to let go of. That's why the images are so striking. It's not a choice usually. Something we're forced to get rid of or forced to say goodbye to. A door slamming shut. It's really a clear-cut end of something. We have to completely let go. Completely end it before moving on to something new. That's my little dish on death there. And remember, always, that if you can't trust a woman in a bunny costume at midnight to talk about the death card, then who can you trust?